So this here is my second troll level that I made. And a little interesting thing about this one is, well, first of all, it's a sequel to my first level. It's the unfortunate sequel. And that's because my original idea was to basically make a series of levels where every level has the word unfortunate in the title. And I've changed that now later to be stupid instead and be in all caps. But this level, so once I made my first level, I basically, my first troll level anyway, I eventually after a while started sending it to streamers who played viewer levels. And then from there, I noticed that a lot of people actually thought it was pretty good, but they couldn't get very far in it. So with this one, I was intentionally trying to be a bit nicer on the trolling. So starting off here, a cannon will come and fall and give you moles and kill you. Or just trap you in here. And there's that block with the bomb, and the bomb is literally nothing. And what you actually need to do is jump on this platform, and go and bounce, and not that. The thing here is that the jump, riding this platform and jumping off this shell has nothing to do with any trolls. Only a little bit. It basically starts off by looking a bit like a platforming Kaizo level. And then, once you bounce off of here, and you try and get that key, it'll block your path. So the key is just shiny bait. And the thing is, shiny bait would usually be something like a red coin, a 1-up, a coin, that kind of stuff. Well, I did it with a key. And that's because you can collect keys with shells, and you can't get like 1-ups with shells. But the thing about that is that because it's a key and it could be required for level progress, it means that people may think they actually need it and start trying more difficult stuff to get the key. So that's the thing I noticed. And then we get to the next section. Before we get to the next section, I'm gonna say that this level, at least in its most current version, Carl actually played this one, which I'm pretty surprised by since it was my second level. And we get to this section, and I'm gonna enter it the way you would if you were playing. So you come here, and then there's this, and you go right, and you go in this pipe, and then there's the music again, and it says don't, and then there's a wiggler, and then booty blaster. The booty blasts are always funny. But something that Carl pointed out while playing was this setup here. This would make an amazing CP1 setup. Like, my first level had a bad CP1. This one has a not much better CP1, but it has this setup in it, and if a troll is really good and gets you in a pipe, well, okay, not entirely. There's more to it than that. A troll that makes a good CP1 is, in my mind, something that gets you in a door or a pipe or a path that you weren't specifically trying to go down, or at least that's the best ones that I've seen. If you weren't trying to go to a place, like here you're trying to go down. You want to go down, but because you hold right, you go in the pipe and end up here. And if that had been used for if I had used that for a CP1, that'd be amazing, but it's just a death box at the beginning of the level. So that's the thing. And also interesting, the mechanic that sets it up is those cannons that teleport on top of the munchers. You use like tracker racing to get up behind there, and the cannons move up and they can do some crazy stuff like that. And then we see how I was trying to be nice with this level. So this entire section, you bounce on this mole, you bounce on that mole, and the only troll here, there isn't a troll on these first two mole jumps. There isn't a troll at all. And then when you get here, the only troll is that muncher. Well, not the only troll. There's that muncher, and there's also this, which uses a different mechanic of that same setup to make the boo hit you. And then we have that. If you try to just make that jump, it's an easy jump now, but it used to be a little bit harder. And if you fall down here, I made it so that, well, I didn't specifically design it that way, but the spring will come out and you can get out. I put this little ledge here so that you could still get out. Some people who tested the old versions ended up down there and still didn't get out. And then here, I was actually continuing to be nice, because this is a non-deadly troll. So you go to this pipe, and you can't go down it. You see this one-up with a cloud. It's a cloud, a super mushroom, and a one-up all layered over each other. So you can just get it, and it looks like it's supposed to look like a troll, but it's actually safe. So you can't go in that pipe. Then I made it so you can't even die. There's nothing else you can do other than do it right at this point. That's just me being nice. And there's a swamp, and swamp dies, and you go, and you get out. And then there's this room. And there's a key door, and there's a pit and a key. And if you, we're not gonna talk about that one. You get the key. Yeah, my run button on my controller is pretty bad, but if you get the key, you see that does actually lead there, but it doesn't because you're up here now. And the point of this checkpoint room is pretty much entirely focused on this troll, which is a really interesting one. So this swamp here is a distraction because when you come out of the pipe, you can actually see that cannon. You can see the cannon go up and then down for just a second. That's the same muncher glitch again. There's also this POW that down here, which is there to kill the muncher, because otherwise it would get stuck there and look weird and suspicious. So you get, and also this is a key door specifically because if it was a normal door, you would go through it and then you would enter it immediately and then see where it goes once you come out the other side. But with a key door, when you press up on it, it unlocks, also unlocking the other door, showing you which one it leads to, and then Mario walks into it. So it's specifically a key door, so that you get that moment of getting this key and being like, oh, I actually did it right. I got the checkpoint, and then you don't. And the teleport you up is this glitch, which I think I can actually soft lock myself with if I try hard enough. Let's see here. Because I made those one-ups that are bad and dumb. So I get this key, go through it again, go up. This isn't the only way to do it, but what should happen is I should be soft locked now. That's fun. Yeah. I probably should have fixed that before having to level up. Right, so then we get to this part, and this is finally getting some actual trolliness. Jump on 1, jump on 2, and you can't jump on 3 that just falls through. And that's because these ones are not on tracks, and this one is. And it's lined up so that it will fall. It's lined up to fall so that you'll try to jump for it before it would start stinking. Or sinking. I said stinking, but yeah. And then I think some of these trolls are a bit kind of self-explanatory. Except for this section. Get this. So what this has is, I should show, if I want to show actually going through it, I have to start with the key, but, okay, so get this, see if I can just play through it real quick. I can't. I think if I start like this, it should be fine. So if you go here, that happens, and then you die. So what this section is essentially, I was like, okay, so Thwomp falls and hits block, so you're not gonna stand there. So don't want the player to stand here. It would be great if the player stood here, because then they get hit by the shell. And that's something Carl died to. That was pretty great, but then if you go up here and start hitting this, that shell triggers this fireball, which will also hit you there. And obviously it will also hit you if you stand here. But then, when I tested it, this section didn't really troll anyone. Because either they ran straight through it and didn't get hit. No one got trolled by this, so they either ran straight through, or what they did is they would come here and then they'd stop here. And then, so what I did is I reused something from my first level, is a Thwomp off screen on clouds, so that it will take longer to fall, so that because once I saw a few people play it and stop here, I was like, oh, people are stopping here and just seeing it all go off. I'll add a troll to kill you if you stop here. How about that? And then there's the next section. And this is a really interesting one. Not that. If you just go and jump on that, and then that is not a platform at all. It's actually just it's mushroom platform extending below a semi-solid to look like donuts. It does look a little bit different, but it's not super noticeable if you're focusing on platforming stuff. I made this troll before even starting building this level, and this is probably one of the best ones here. And we get to this. So there's a pipe here, and see, this section is the thing that I always do of adding extra bait and trolls and stuff around, but this particular one I think is it being actually good. So going up here, you can't get those clown cars because they're overlapped with the block. The block does nothing, and scrolling the screen up makes these springs fall, which is a different setup than I used in the other level, because orange platforms are based on vertical position of Mario for some reason. I think actually only orange platforms that move up and down are based on Mario's vertical position for if they're moving or not moving. And there's also this mushroom over here, which is additional bait, because if you get the mushroom, you'll hit the spring, and this leads back down to the thing that says don't. Except that I forgot to put something so you couldn't go back down the pipe. Meaning that you can just go back, and if you hold down from there, the spring won't have time to hit you and you'll die. Why did I say that? The spring won't have time to hit you and you won't die, you'll go back down. So then you come here, and I drew a Carl box and shot you with the fish. Which no one stood in. Which is, unsurprising that no one would stand in the marked box, get hit by the fish. So you come here, and we have another bit of being nice and having platforming without a troll. Like, this level has a lot of platforming to set up the trolls, which is a different style than what I usually do, and I think kinda good and kind of makes it easy and not as trolly as other levels. So then you get to this. This troll is blatantly stolen from Potato Chan. The level Potato Chan's Spicy Salsa Dip, I think, has a troll where trying to jump over the flagpole for a couple blocks above it, it has an invisible wall to block you, but if you have death there, you'll get stopped by the wall and fall into it, into the saw like that. And then then this door has a one-way and there's a troll and stuff, but the only reason this door is here is that so that you can come out of that door and actually beat the level, but it does act as a troll the first time. You can't get to this point because of the wall. People that do this troll usually use the ceiling, but I use the fact you only get a certain height jump off of the mole to do that. And the actual solution is to go up here. It looks like a troll, but isn't. And you go in this door. And this is a kind of interesting room. It's got some moles and cannon glitch again. And it has this. So what was weird here is that originally this was just a pit. Just kind of part of the aesthetics of the level. Which, might I say, I am quite proud of these aesthetics. And I should use this again, but this pit was originally just a pit. But when I saw that some of the streamers I sent this to, for some reason decided it would be a good idea to try jumping down here and not trust the POW, well, you die. And then I added these donuts in this dog costume, and the dog costume is a little bit of a theme that I have in my levels that's I started later. It's fun, and the donut. And the reason I added this is not just to make a little annoying time waster, but it's to get the point across that I knew you would jump down here. Because after seeing people do it, I did know you would jump down here. So that's something that's important in trolls. If you have something that the player can try, and they'll die trying, if it's supposed to be a troll, you want to get it across to the player that you predicted that, and you wanted them to try it. So instead of just having a pit, I put some stuff down here so you would be like, oh, the creator was smart and knew I would go down there. And then this is not the troll ability to kill anyone. When you hit those, moles fall from off the top of the screen, which isn't just not only the top of the screen, but actually the upper level boundary. So the cannons disappear instantly and the moles fall. And you get CP2, and you can choose a mushroom through this. It doesn't really matter, but you can do it. You used to be able to choose a mushroom through this, but you can't anymore. And this setup, it's kind of a weird mushroom setup, but it does have a purpose. You can hear the stuff going on now. Let's see if this, it didn't? Yeah. That thing is jank for some reason. I haven't ever figured out why this setup is jank. But basically, what happens here is that the reason I make you get a mushroom out of this cannon like that is because at the bottom of the screen here, down here, there's another cannon that fires out a shellmet. It goes to the bottom, and then if you jump good, what essentially happens is that it'll pick up this launcher and start like shaking it back and forth really fast once you jump on it, and then if you try to jump off, you'll get a bunch of momentum and go flying into the spikes in either direction. So, but it's jank, so if it doesn't do anything, this section wouldn't have a troll, but then you get back and it does do something, then you get very extra trolled. And we get to the next platforming section, which has aesthetics again, and it has cannons, and it has this, which is, well, to show. Okay, you wouldn't get hit by that, but it makes it so the cannon doesn't fire in the right place to actually let you through. It just kills you if you hit the note block. You come here, and again jump on the cannonball, but not actually. But actually not. Try to jump on the cannonball. Cannonball gets killed by the shell, and you die. And what's interesting about this setup is not the cannonball getting killed, but the more interesting part is that if you jump out here, as the shell is falling, it will actually trigger that hidden block. And shells don't usually trigger hidden blocks as they're falling down, but if it's on a track like this one, it will trigger as it's falling down through the block. And that's why all of these tracks are around here for that vine. Then if you do that and then still do the normal jump, you just die. So then you would end up here. And this is kind of a weird... I don't really know what I was thinking with this part. Because you go to the right, and there's a cannon, right? And you go back to the left, and it laughs at you, and there's a pit of spikes. And if you go back over here, it's a different cannon in a different spot, and then more stuff will happen. And so then you would jump over, and then you go up there, you die, and it said, I wrote box here. I don't know what I was thinking with this part, really. Because it's kind of a troll, but it's also kind of a weird, it's a little bit of an obscure solution. Because you would come over here, and then you have to go there, and back, and there again to actually get it to work. And there's a bit of a problem here that I probably could have fixed. You can do that. And this is actually a problem. This messes things up. You can respawn it again, but... And then it apparently goes one lower and doesn't move at all for some reason. You can do that, but that's not what you're supposed to do. The intended troll is... Let me respawn this guy more. So you go... You stand to wait for the bomb, but that thing just crushes you if you try to wait for the bomb. So the actual solution is to just hit it, which blows up the bomb faster, meaning you can get out without getting crushed. So since that has the cheese, it messed this up a little bit, but surprisingly, the players actually figured out that hitting the bomb was the thing. It was not bad to figure out, I guess. Right. Then we have this, and this looks like... It obviously looks like one of those Thwomp race things. You go here, and you race the Thwomp, and you win. You go in the pipe, and then you die because you don't have a P-switch. That's fun, right? And then there's also this. Where's my Thwomp? So you need to wait for that guy to hit the P-switch, but if you're over there by that block, you'll fall and die. So then you go in this pipe. And this is why I say that I should have rearranged this level to make this pipe troll here the CPU1, and this troll here, well, probably just not exist. So this door that I'm gonna stop jumping around by because it has so many ding-dong effects. But this door leads to the door at the end that was a troll, but is actually just there to let you beat the level. And it has the 4 arrows and all the ding-dongs to make you not trust it, so that you'll go over here and check this pipe. The thing is, that while this is reverse psychology, this path is super obvious. Like, a little bit more obvious than it should be, and it's like this is like on the edge between being reverse psychology distrusting the level thing and actually just being pick a path where the wrong way, which would be this way, is, well, you'll see it's CP1. And if you had gone door, that would instantly beat the level. So this level it's nicer than my last one, or it's nicer than my first one, of course, but it holds up a bit, except for the fact that I used the CP1 in the wrong place. And yeah. Bad CP1, but most level is good, and Carl played it, so that's fun.